India's unbreachable Kamlah Fort, which has witnessed several battles, is today fighting for survival. There was a time when it was impossible for many kings and even the British rulers to conquer the fort. But the vagaries of nature and government's indifference has made this historic monument pity for itself. Kamlah Fort, which is under the Dharampur Assembly constituency, is about 100 kilometers from the district headquarters of Mandi. Situated 4,500 feet above the main sea level, Rajaharisen of Mandi state had begun construction of the fort in 1605, but it could not be completed during his lifetime. Thereafter, his son Surya Sen completed the fort in 1625. As it was located on a very high altitude, it was difficult for enemies to climb up to its base. That is why it was not to be non-breachable. In the 17th century, during the rule of Raja Ishwari Sen, the king of Kangra Sansar Chand conspired to capture the fort but failed to do so. There were many attacks on the fort, but none was successful. Finally, the Sikhs managed to conquer it. However, in 1845, Raja Balbir Sen, with the help of the British, liberated the fort and after under a treaty with the British in 1846, remained a pride possession of the Mandi state under the British rule. The fort, with a glorious past, today lies neglected and ruined. From the ramparts of the fort, cannons used to blaze, sending shivers among the enemies. Today, the cannons are gathering rust. If steps are not taken for its prevention and conservation, the glorious history of the fort will get buried in the earth. Leaving nothing for the future generations to regale in its past glory.
The fort has been destroyed almost. During our childhood, there used to many things here. Now very few left. Had those things were there, many people would have come to visit it.
This fort has been witness to many historical moments. Today, this fort is nothing more than a ruin. History is being destroyed due to lack of maintenance. Otherwise, there would have been a crowd of tourists to regale in its glorious history. Alongside the fort is the Baba Kamalia temple, which is visited by people out of devotion. They also incidentally have a glimpse of the fort, but like the fort, the temple is also victim of the apathy of the rulers. There are no public utilities for the convenience of tourists.
There are no facilities for tourists here, not even a toilet. Whatever is, there is half a kilometer away from the stop. Also, there is no facility for travelers and workers to stay at.
There is an approach road to the Kamlah Fort, but it's an arduous climb to reach the fort. There is ladder-like steps to take one to inside the fort. However, one atop the fort, the sight would remove all the fatigue. The sight of sunrise and sunset from the fort is an unforgettable experience. The combination of nature and history makes the fort an attractive tourist destination and a potential source of revenue for the government.
It's a historic fort. It could be preserved and developed, whether you do it for the purpose of tourism or to conserve it. It should be revived with the help from central and state governments. Safety and security of the visitors should be increased.
हम बेटर उसको सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड कर पाएंगे, तो मैं समझता हूँ कि अपने आप में ही वो उसका संरक्षण भी अच्छी तरीके से होगा और जो वहाँ पर है उसको हम अच्छी तरीके से उसका आगे भी रखरखाव कर पाएंगे.
The administration has its own reasons, but no one knows whether the government is interested in developing the fort as a tourist spot. Meanwhile, this historic fort is dying slowly and steadily. If timely action is not taken, then this glorious historical fort will be consigned to dust. Rakesh Rana from Mandi, ETV Bharat.
To watch 24/7 News Live, download ETV Bharat app.